what does good writing look like? What are the things teachers are looking for, especially grade 12 teachers? Looking for sophisticated vocabulary. Use grade 12 level vocabulary. Looking for a mastery of English language conventions. Spelling rules, grammar rules, punctuation rules, all followed. Good sentence structure and phrasing. Sentences need to be complete and logically phrased. Effective transitions and cohesion. So there needs to be a logical flow of ideas from sentence to sentence, but also from paragraph to paragraph. We need excellent textual support. We need to see quotes from credible scholarly sources that support your ideas. Need a great introduction and conclusion. A strong thesis is part of the introduction, and that should be the last part of the introduction, and that's what describes the focal point of the essay. This is really critical to producing a high caliber, good quality writing piece. Once a thesis is stated, everything that comes after it must connect back to it. So again, the thesis is what the essay is all about. So now we're going to take a look at two sample essay introductions. So the grading for essays typically is from 1 to 4. So it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So the first piece we're going to look at is a level 2. So it's like a just pass introduction. And then the second piece we look at is a level 4. So it's an 80, it would be graded at an 80 or above. So the first sample is a level 2, as I mentioned. So I'm going to read through it. So you'll notice in the beginning, there's a hook. I've highlighted the hook in pink and the thesis is in blue. So the hook, I'm just gonna go ahead and read through it. Who is Jay Gatsby? In the novel, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, we get to know the protagonist Jay Gatsby through his best friend, Nick Carraway. Nick tells us about how Gatsby has worked hard all his life to become successful and achieve the American dream. I think after reading this novel that Gatsby is a kind man who cares about others, but is willing to do anything for money. I also think he is smart and adventurous. Okay, so this piece, this introduction, would get a passing grade of 2 because it has the basics of what an introduction should have. Has a hook, there's some information leading into the thesis, and there's a thesis. Now, the problem is the hook doesn't really grab your attention. It's not long enough. It's not interesting enough. There's not enough information in the development of the paragraph. And the thesis uses very simple language and uses personal pronouns, which is a big no-no in academic writing. And here's our level 4 introductory essay. So are the trials and tribulations along the journey to becoming successful worth the end goal? In the novel, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, the author focuses on the protagonist, Jay Gatsby's obsession with monetary success in his pursuit of the American dream. The American dream is the idea that one can arrive in America with nothing and through hard work and perseverance, achieve substantial financial success. The story of Gatsby's motivation and need for material trappings is narrated by Nick Carraway, Jay Gatsby's closest friend. Nick gives insight into the complexity of the character of Jay Gatsby by revealing how Gatsby's life revolves around his pursuit of the American dream. Nick exposes what Gatsby does, what he says, and what others say about him. And it becomes clear that Jay Gatsby is extremely determined, ambitious, and optimistic to a fault. So hopefully you can hear the difference between the two introductions. Looking at the thesis in particular, you can see that there's a distinct difference in the level of sophistication in the vocabulary and in the phrasing. This level 4 introduction is longer, but keep in mind that longer isn't necessarily better. We are looking for longer essays, but longer isn't going to cut it. It has to be longer, but also it's very important that it's high quality as well.